Today, we're going to poach this beautiful Icelandic cod fillet, Acqua Pazza style. It's very simple and the whole thing cooks in less than 15 minutes. The first time I had this dish was actually in Las Vegas, which was probably the opposite of the origin of the dish. When fishermen would just saute their catch of the day with seawater, extra virgin olive oil and some cherry tomatoes. The recipe today is just a guideline. You can use any aromatic vegetables you fancy. It's a method of half poaching and half steaming. So let's do it. We heat up the pan or we prep our vegetables. So today, onion. For me, I like the aromatic vegetables extremely thin so that it doesn't provide too much contrasting texture to the perfectly cooked fish. So if you have mandolin, wonderful. If not, try to slice them thinly. This is a perfect weekday meal for the whole family. The preparation takes minutes and the cooking takes minutes. With some bread, salad on the side, makes a wonderful meal. Like all my weekday recipes, we prep as we cook. So extra virgin olive oil, be generous, it's one of the major ingredients. And we sweat our very thin onion slices. And we season with salt, also helps the onion release its liquid. My other aromatic vegetable of choice is fennel. It adds a ton of complexity and this wonderful, wonderful, elegant aniseed flavor. It's a personal choice. You don't have to use it if you don't like fennel. Again, we'll add half. Perfect. Fennel in. This recipe, whatever you don't use, you can make a wonderful salad because they go so well together. Once again, season with salt. You see the steam coming out. That's the water content from the aromatic vegetables evaporating, concentrating their flavors. Garlic also works incredibly well with this recipe, but make sure you add the garlic later than the others because they burn much faster because of the sugar content. Once they're translucent-ish, we introduce the cherry tomatoes. You use cherry tomatoes for this recipe, not just because they cook quicker, but also because when it's not tomato season, cherry tomatoes are always better than regular tomatoes in terms of quality and sweetness. I like to add them in two stages. So this stage, the cherry tomatoes would form the sauce, and later on when we add the fish, we'll add another batch that will bring us some acidity and brightness. Now, once most of the water content has evaporated and you can no longer smell that harshness of the onion, we make our crazy water. First, some dry white wine. This is mainly to introduce acidity. So unlike a lot of braising dishes recipes where they ask you to reduce your wine by half, we're only going to cook the wine until the harshness of the alcohol has disappeared. And we want to maintain that acidity and freshness, which is the opposite of what you want to do when you make something with a red wine. You really want to reduce that. Now, once the alcohol smell is gone, we add a bit more water. This is a personal choice. Some people like to cook it really thick. I like it slightly soupy. So try this once and see how much water you want to add next time. We taste and adjust the seasoning. Remember, this is a poaching liquid. You want this to be flavoursome. We add the stalks of the cherry tomatoes because they actually add a ton of tomato flavours. Lid on. And we let this simmer for about 5 minutes, just for everything to emulsify and the tomatoes to break down a bit to really form the sauce. Now, while that's simmering, let's talk the choice of fish. For me, this is a very simple dish. So if your family or your guests, they're used to eating whole fish straight off the bone, wonderful. Cook the whole fish, bring it in the middle family style, great. If not, you're making more work for yourself with very little to none flavor gain because you have to cook the whole thing, fish out the fish, clean the fish, put the fillets back in. Why? With the cooking time and temperature, the fish bone, fish head, they will not impart any extra flavors, not even gelatin. So it's not worth it for a weekday meal. Use fish fillets. I prefer thin white fish, slightly on the oily side, but that's my personal preference. So that's why we have Icelandic cod. Another thing when it comes to fish choice is the skin. I like it skin on. Even if you want the finished product to be without skin, I would still cook it with the skin. It A, protects the fish from drying out, and B, more importantly, the fat content under the skin has a lot of lovely flavors that will be released into this crazy water liquid. And once it's cooked, the skin is extremely easy to remove, which I'll show you. Now, I think this is ready, judging from the extremely hot lid. Beautiful. Now, we remove the stalks. They've imparted the flavor and smell. As you can see, the tomatoes, the moment you touch them, they're already breaking apart, so this is ready. And they will thicken the cooking liquid slightly, which is exactly what we want. So now, fish fillet goes in, skin side up. So this is half poaching, half steaming. And we add round 2 of fresh tomatoes to give us some brightness and acidity. And you want this to slowly poach until the thickest part has reached 55 degrees Celsius, making it perfectly cooked, but not yet too flaky. Use a meat probe if you have one. Lid on, about 6-7 minutes. All right, after about 6 minutes, we check on the fish. Oh, you can tell from how it's flaking here that it's definitely cooked, but we probe. Perfection. I did promise to remove the skin. Now, once the fish is cooked, it's extremely easy and it comes right off. Now, to serve, we simply add some herbs. We have some basil and some parsley for a bit of brightness to balance the sweetness of the onion and the cherry tomatoes. Basil always works. Try to slice them so that you don't bruise the leaves and puncture the cell membranes. Give it a mix. Spoon some of this beautiful liquid. Bit more basil for garnish, and that's it. A very simple dish with a very rich history. This is Icelandic court, Acqua Pazza style. I really hope you enjoy. Where's my wine?